Checking in. I'm at the headquarters right now. I was asked a few questions about equipment and what equipment to buy. I have to go to Lowe's today or Home Depot, so I'm gonna step in and give you some updates on what they have on what you can buy there for those who wanna purchase a new one from Home Depot or Lowe's. They actually do have decent machines that you could actually use as a hobbyist to actually make money from home doing small products. Um, Depends on the thickness of the metal that you're going to be using. I just wanted to say that don't get caught up in thinking you have to have the state of the art equipment because you don't. You can get by with using used equipment that's reliable and most definitely essential to get the job done. You don't have to go broke. Like literally, I have met owners who had bought old shears and brakes, and they were so tickled behind it because it was 40 years old and still working like it's new, and they had to put a new blade on it or something, and it's still making money. So don't get caught up in thinking you just have to have state of the art stuff. I've been in many welding shops that had machines look like they was older than my granddaddy, and they was working fine. They was burning good, and then you can have some new ones that don't work as proper. So, to me, I think it all depends on the look you're trying to get once you get set up, or the um, people you're trying to impress. Sometimes it can be the people you're trying to impress. You know what I mean? So the way I look at it is don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in thinking that you just got to go all the way out. You know what I mean? Just get started with what you can get started with, and just go from there, man. Honestly, as far as new welding equipment, I have bought uh, a few tools I bought new. Um, but as far as equipment, most of all of my welding equipment is used that I buy. Um, Honestly, to me, I feel like if I buy something used that it was in good shape, I know if I keep it up, it'll give me the same lifespan out of it. So I don't get caught up in just having something new. I didn't seen dudes go to. I'm gonna tell you what I seen a contractor do. He went to Lowe's and bought some of these stands here, and man, we was using them on the job. Like I got some metal here cutting. I slid something across the thing over there, and the guy just walked over there and kind of looked. He said, "Put a little scratch on it, didn't you?" I said, "That's what it's for, bro. What you buying for? What do you think this is for? Do you think this is for to put up and hang on the wall, or to do some work with?" I'm just saying. Some people get caught up, man, with what stuff look like, and then you can't make money with it because you about to have a heart attack. You get this brand new truck, this rig, and if anything happen, you about to lose your mind because you got this payment still on it, or you spent your last on it, and so sometimes I think we get caught up in that, man, caught up in the fact that in the looks of things. To me, I think it's good to keep things up. You can keep things up looking good and maintain without um, going broke, without putting yourself in a bind, and you can still create some dope stuff. You know what I mean? You can have some dope art, some dope products, man, that you're producing off of this used equipment. So don't get caught up in thinking that you just got to get something new, man. Use what you got. And then once you're able, get something new. But don't be in no rush, you know what I mean? I'm sitting up here this morning, I'm laying out about to get ready to do a couple welding skids. So I'm laying them out. And I'm actually gonna cut them later, but I'm just laying everything out. And I got, man, it's simple things you can do to get a job done, using the basic tools, and to create a real neat and classy product. You know what I mean? So don't get caught up in that. I got this saw from the flea market. You know what I mean? I got it from my old man. I knew it was good when I seen him with it, and he said he was using it. He bought it personally, and he don't do it no more. And I knew it was a good saw, so I purchased it. I done been cutting all my pieces. It's worked fine. Built me a little table, and we good to go. You know what I mean? But I knew that it's better than me spending $300-400 on it if I can get it for, you know, a third of that. I mean, not a third, but an eighth of that. I would say. You know what I mean? And my little my little Buzz box over there, my little Lincoln SP 305. They don't even make them no more. I done bought new leads for it, new ground. I didn't put a new spindle in the inside, but all the rest of the stuff, the electronics, as far as the working part, it haven't stopped. It takes gas in the back, so if I need to do some stainless, I can do some stainless with it. You know what I'm saying? But can't do aluminum with it, but I can do stainless with it. But my goal is to get me here soon is to upgrade for a multi process machine. So I am about to upgrade soon to get the multi processor, probably through Miller. I like the one Miller got. A lot of ones got some that's cheaper. Everybody got their own brand, but I'm gonna get a Miller if I'm gonna buy it new, or if I can get it, you know, refurbished, a real good one. That's probably gonna be a Miller. I like the 220 because it can do 110 or 220. You know what I mean? You can kill a couple birds with one stone with that new Miller that they got out. And then plus, like I say, I didn't use it on several jobs. I like the setup, how you can have it set up for your stick and flux core at the same time. Like I was tacking plates on with the flux core, and I was welding them out with the stick, and had both of them hooked up. All I had to do was switch the little button over to stick. It was dope. I liked it. You know what I mean? So I just think as time get better, technology gets better, man. We just have to utilize it and then approve, but don't get no buying thinking, oh man, I just got to go all the way out right now. I need to have this sitting here. I can't tell you how many dudes that could have got started with their businesses, could have really got off the ground, but they spent so much money in unnecessary equipment and new tools and this that they didn't even have to do a job with. Like, I don't know, I didn't get it. Like, why would you spend $10,000 worth of tools if you can go spend $1,500 worth of tools used and do the job and then go get some new tools? Like, to me personally, to me it's a no brainer. But sometimes people don't think like that. They want to show up and look a certain way. You can show up and look professional, man, without putting yourself in a bind. That's what I would say do personally. You know what I mean? I don't really worry about image. You know what I mean? I try to just get what I get what I get and keep it up. You know what I mean? I just try to take care of what I got. Because I done been on both sides of the fence, man. I done had the payment. I didn't pay for it. And I was like, I will never have another payment. You know what I mean? I've been there. I've been welding for 20 years, bro. I got initiated. I really got initiated into welding like at 17, but I actually started when I was 20, and I'm 40 now. So I've been doing it 20 years. I've been into it 20 years, but I've been in it consistently. Um, Man, pretty much, yeah, pretty much. I've been consistent, like just on and off. Like I never took a year off. Probably some months here and there. You know what I mean? But I was doing it on the side, and then doing different jobs when I first started, just working. Didn't really know the hustle of it. You know what I mean? Didn't really know. I didn't really know I was a fabricator. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was working for shops. I'm fabricating they stuff. They say, "Oh man, you do good." I'm reading they prints and they showing me. And then later I figured out, you know what I mean, my niche. Oh man, that's dope, man. That's dope. Make your first grill at 15. That's dope. Like I say, I wasn't around it at that time, but I did get initiated at 17 as far as the ideal and the thought from my mom saying, "Hey, think about welding." I was in prison at the time, and so she wanted to introduce me to something that could make me money on the side without me putting myself in a bind going back to prison, because she knew we was from the streets, so she knew how I was raised. We was raised with fast money, so she was like, hey, I got to figure out something you can do while you in there, so once you get out you won't have to go back to that same lifestyle. She said you can actually, once you learn it, you can start a business, you can do your own thing. But I wasn't thinking about it like that, at the time. I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that, And so I ended up jumping into it. But learning the field, man, being from Arkansas, man, it's just Arkansas is an oppressive state, especially for black people. A lot of people don't want to face that reality, but it is what it is there. You know what I mean? Um, Being there, man, I could never really get ahead. in it. And I actually went to a Northwest Arkansas actually, and I actually made the most I have ever made. The time I was in Arkansas, the most I ever made while I was in Arkansas was $20 an hour. Like that's the most. And they had their foot on my neck at the 20. And no bullshit, you know what I mean? So that's the most I ever made in Arkansas. And no BS. Soon as I left, I went from 20 to 27. I'm not even exaggerating. It was just the place I was at. The skills was there, but it just wasn't going to allow me to grow. So I was losing interest in my trade. I was about to just say forget it, and until I reached out to say what, I'm gonna get my equipment and go independent. Once I learned the business, once I got into a company that allowed me to learn it, you know, they allowed me to learn it by, thinking they was going to turn me into another great slave. And I was like, nah, I'm going to get this game and start my own independence. And that's what I did, man. I started my own independence after I seen what was going on because I couldn't make no money. And I liked doing what I was doing, but I was like, man, I can't keep doing it if I'm doing this. I couldn't see myself being like Blow Joe on the job for 20, 30 years, retiring, broke down, saying yes sir, this and this, kissing the ass all the time. Nah, man, I just did 10 years in prison. I wasn't about to kiss nobody ass all the time. I'm like, nah, I've been told I had to be told what to do in there by some people that did it just because they could do it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, nah, I'm working the job to learn the system. And as soon as I learned the system, I exit the job. I was like, nah, forget the job thing. I like to work with others, not for others. I like to use the terms because the words are different. I'll work with you. I don't want to work for you. That's a different thing. I'm gonna work for myself. You know what I'm saying? But I help you do projects or whatever that need to be done. You know what I mean? Um, but like I say, what you say here? Yes, yes, it's very good, man. To me personally, I think college is overrated. You can go to certain schools to get that specific education you need, but a lot of times you spend too much on college just for the experience. A lot of time they sell you the glamour. You on campus, you on this. They sell you a lot of stuff and they teach you a lot of stuff you don't need, which that's what America do. Without just going to get directly what you want, I think it's just wise to get directly what you want. But to have a solid trade in America, I think it's a no brainer. Um, Welding, electrician, I think I get some of the main ones, plumbing, carpentry. You got some of the main trades that don't have downtime. Think of the ones that don't have downtime. Carpenters can have downtime. Electricians don't. Welders don't. You know what I mean? Plumbers don't. They can go inside and outside. So it's a situation where you can work around the clock in different environments. I like trades like that, trades that you can actually millwrights, things that you can do regardless of the weather, regardless of what's going on around you, like this pandemic and things. Certain trades are always going to be essential. So I think that it's wise to invest in essential trades. So I will most definitely say that. You know what I mean? Um, but I just wanted to just give y'all like a little small update on, don't get caught up in thinking you have to have the state of the art to produce state of the art. You know what I mean? You don't have to have state of the art to make some state of the art things. You just have to have um, that skill set in knowing that, okay, I'm willing to start from here. Like, y'all seen my growth. And over time, you're gonna see me grow again, like in the next few months. I'm gonna do a video. You're gonna be like, damn, he got a new setup because that's what you do. As you do better, you get things in line. Almost, most definitely, I did turn a negative situation. I had to, you know what I mean? Well, necessarily, I didn't have to, but I knew I had to. I didn't want to get out and be the same um, into that revolving door and be like the rest of the people that I seen go in and out. You know what I mean? I wanted to actually utilize my time, and I had to do 10 years, man. I went in at 16 years old, and I got out when I was 26 years old. So I knew I had to do a decade. I couldn't let that time get me out and I'll be behind. Like I got a cousin now, God be with him, man. He did seven, I don't know, 6 to 8 years, and he still ain't got it together, man. He been back on a couple violations, but I'm hoping that he wake up this time, man. I've been waiting on him. Like I told him, I can't force nobody. You can't force nobody. Everybody different, but I think he's gonna get it this time. But I just knew I had to do something different, man. I had a daughter at the time that I wanted to really provide for because not having a father affected me a lot. And that's the reason I'm in OKC now because I'm able to be around my son and my daughters. I can get them all the time, but my son I always had issues with. So now that I'm able, I moved here to be around them, set up something where I can get them to be a safe haven for them, to be able to build a relationship with them. That's really why I moved because I was actually getting things established pretty good in Phoenix, man. So I didn't really want to leave, but you know, I made the sacrifice for my son, so I couldn't see him going through what I went through because I didn't have a father. So now that I know what I know how to talk to him, I know how to give it to him, I know how to encourage him and build him up in the things that he liked to do, his dreams, his goals. And just so happened he liked to fabricate, he liked to weld. So he's into building things, he like it. So it's going to be a joy for me to start coming in here and having him line out stuff and me and him work together and make money and sweat and eat a lunch, you know what I mean, and just talk about what's going on. I think that, having that opportunity, man, it's like those memories to me is worth more than thousands. It's worth more than gold, you know what I mean? And but I most definitely feel like, we just have to get started and just use what we got, man. You don't have to have state of the art equipment to do some state of the art things and actually make some dope stuff, man. You know, I'm cutting pieces. I got stuff lined up. I'm getting lined out off of, what you see. So you can, once you see the way I lay these things out, you're gonna be like, man, that's neat. But it was all on just using your skill set. And if the equipment can do what it can do, then you just push it to its maximum. You know what I mean? No reason to fix something if it ain't broken. You know what I mean? That's what the old folks used to say. But I just wanted to check in, man, and just say that to you this morning, man. Keep that in mind. Use what you got. Don't be ashamed. Don't put yourself in a bind. Stop making excuses for why you're not independent if you truly want to be independent. Oh, I appreciate that, man. I just had to leave the RV life for my son. I just left. I've been here in OKC now for about a month, and I've been here getting established. But I enjoyed the RV life. Um, Man, I had some great experience. I actually got some more videos on there talking about the RV life. So, if you go through my channel, my page, you can find some more that I'm going in detail about why I left the RV life and um, different things I experienced on RVs because I had a fifth wheel and what I seen in the park, different ups, different downs, different prejudices, different things to look out for. Man, I experienced a lot. You know what I mean? So I literally could just make another video just talk about my experiences as an RVer and what I seen personally. And just people just don't be naive. That's all I want to say, man. Don't be naive. Be safe. Have fun. And one important thing, if you are a person of color, that's good, man. You get back, get you one, and most definitely. And one thing I can say, man, if you're a person of color, just make sure you call, ahead of time and let the people know, yeah, I'm so and so my family or my me and my spouse, I'm by myself, because it's different. You hate to just pull up there, man. They tell you ain't got no vacancies and you see them. I've been there too. Me and my wife then got turned around and like I said, she didn't call on places and got that I called on. They told me they didn't. She called them. They said they did. Now we didn't go there. It was just to prove a point. I was just showing her too, like, man, it's fucked up out here. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, I knew it, but I didn't think it would be that raw. Like we didn't pull it up with, you can see 30 spots. No, we ain't got no spot. Like they almost like they wanted to call the police on us. Hey man, but then like I say, this last spot I was at, I was there for 3 years, so I had a real good time at that spot. Yeah, it is like that, man. I mean, just be safe, man. And if you're not a person of color, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm just be honest with you. It's freelance for you, but if you are, just be cautious. I'm just be honest with you, man. And I travel. Me and my wife, we actually the only place I haven't been is California, pretty much. Which I'm gonna get a chance to go visit there here soon this year. But I went from North Carolina to Seattle, just visiting, hitting different states, and and I just seen a lot. You know what I mean? People are different. You know what I mean? People are different, man. So I just learned it's best, it's wise to call, it's wise to do your homework first. Yeah, so make sure that you just be wise and just call. They can tell you're an African American when you talk, unless you talk like you white. Some people talk white, so I didn't talk to some people that were black. I thought was white hair. So just let them know, yeah, we're an African American couple. Let them know, don't do no surprises. You know how we'll tell them once we get there. Make sure you keep everything on the table, man. Call around. Even look at the Google ratings. See what people said about that park. That's a very wise thing to do while y'all traveling. You can, before you call and make your reservations, you can see what other people have said about that location. See if anyone else been there or what type of experiences they didn't have. But just do that little homework right there. Even though I know you probably think like, man, I shouldn't have to go through this, but it is what it is, man. I love America, man, but America still got some issues. You know what I mean? We gotta remember that. To me, in my personal opinion, America is Cain that killed Abel. He got to pay for that. You know what I mean? And it's still working out those issues right now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you just got to be wise when you're moving around here, when you're traveling, man. Just be wise. Oh my goodness, be wise. So y'all just be safe out there. But I'm gonna leave y'all this morning, man. Y'all be blessed out there this morning. And like I say, you don't have to have state of the art equipment to produce state of the art work. Hold on.